Hey, what's up everybody? I'm gonna do a little bit of a rundown of the status of Caught Doin Good, where it's standing right now. Maybe some of you guys are following along, maybe you're curious, maybe you're wondering what's going on. Well, here you go. Well, some of you saw the Galad Kalinga video. That was my first video on the Caught Doin Good project, but it wasn't really what I'm trying to get at with Caught Doin Good. And I honestly have not completely formalized what I do want to get at with it. So that was just kind of an attempt to figure things out, and I'm still figuring things out, and I'm working on it. So Galad Kalinga was Caught Doin Good related. It was really cool. Check out the video. After that, I went down to Dumaguete, and I wanted to meet with some Habitat for Humanity volunteers that are down there that are doing kind of habitat related stuff. So I went down there and I met with them, and I saw some of the communities that they were building. It was really cool to see the contrast between Galad Kalinga and Habitat for Humanity, which are both, I'm getting a bit up here, which are both, they're both building related organizations, but Galad Kalinga is a local organization, started, created, run, everything run by Filipinos, whereas Habitat for Humanity came in from an international group, but actually it has become local since. But there are international volunteers that are helping out with it, especially there in Dumaguete, which is where I saw what they were doing. So I went and saw the Habitat for Humanity. It was interesting to compare and contrast. Galad Kalinga, they reach out to the poorest of the poor. Really people who have no opportunity for anything. They're squatters, they're living alongside railroad tracks, they've got a really tough life. And so Galad Kalinga provides homes for them, but also puts a lot of rules on it. They have to come to values building seminars. They never own their homes. It will always be owned by Galad Kalinga, and they've got to return it back to them. I think it's like a 90-year lease or something like that. It's pretty long, but nonetheless, it does not belong to them, whereas Habitat for Humanity, the people, within about 10 years, at least the place where I went, it had been there for 11 years, and many of the people said that they already own their homes. Do you own your house now? Yeah. Oh, great. So that's Habitat for Humanity. They get people who are poor, but not the poorest of the poor, and they provide, easy, low financing housing. They can come in for free, but then they've got to pay back over the course of time, and when they do pay back, it becomes their property, which is pretty cool. So I got to see Habitat for Humanity, I got to see Galad Kalinga. After that, I went to another Galad Kalinga village there in Cebu, actually. So Dumaguete was Habitat for Humanity, Cebu was another Galad Kalinga village, and it was quite interesting because Galad Kalinga came from a Christian organization, but actually the community that I visited in Cebu, it had been donated by a Chinese religion, some kind of Chinese temple. And so that was quite interesting to see that something that had come out of a Christian organization is now attracting government and other religions to volunteer or to donate the money to build these communities. So they're trying to really reach out beyond just one religion or one way of thinking, one group, which is pretty cool. Then I met a girl named Anya Lim. She works for, she created a social enterprise called Anthill. Social enterprise is a fascinating thing. I'm reading a book about it right now, and I'm gonna make a video with a special prize for you guys who watch the video and pay attention to it. So keep an eye out for that. So I'm going to make a video about social enterprise. If you've never heard of it, just very simply, the concept is that people are entrepreneurs. They make businesses, real businesses, not NGOs, not non-profit organizations, but they're making real businesses, but the focus of the business is how to integrate people from underprivileged communities. So for example, Anya Lim, what she's doing is reaching out to the weaving community of the indigenous tribes of the Philippines, and she's creating a market for these materials that they create, and she's creating, bags and different clothes, different things that their fabrics that they weave can be used in. And she's really connecting the consumer with the creator, with the provider, and creating that market. And that's the biggest problem. They've got really good quality stuff, but they don't really understand quality control, and they don't understand what is the best of the best. And they don't know how to communicate and to connect with the consumer. So you get somebody who comes in and is really caring about them, but is also, working as a middleman per se to connect them with their market. So that's what Anya is doing with Anthill. It's a really interesting social enterprise there. And through her, I also met a girl in Manila, and I didn't get to talk to her too much, but her name is Rhys Fernandez. And Rhys Fernandez does something called Rags to Riches, which she basically makes bags and different materials from recycled materials, and the people that do the work are ladies that live on what was called the Smoky Mountain in Manila. Basically, it's a big mountain of trash that's so highly packed and so condensed that it actually bursts out into flames every once in a while, and that's why it's called the Smoky Mountain. It's a mountain of trash in Manila, and these ladies and their kids, they live there. And so Rhys has really done a great job of making some high quality bags and materials that are made by these ladies and made by recycled materials that they find on the Smoky Mountain.
From a 50 peso product to a now 800 peso product, in that innovation. Of course, the quality is a lot higher, it's a lot harder to make, yes. But a simple change in paradigm, a simple change in the look of what used to be ordinary.
So that was Anya and Rhys. They're both social entrepreneurs into social enterprise, which actually Gawad Kalinga is getting into a lot as well. And Rhys actually had a history in Gawad Kalinga, so everything is a little bit intertwined, And then I also in Cebu met a girl named Rhonda. Rhonda is quite interesting. She is a Canadian girl, a Canadian woman, and she went to Cebu something like 20 years ago, and she just went there for some kind of a mission. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was maybe 20 minutes away from where she lived. But as she was walking around the area where she lived and trying to practice her new Visayan language skills, she tried to practice on some of the local kids that she just saw loitering around all the time. And she got to really know these kids and to really love them. And they invited her to their homes and to their area. And their area is really probably one of the most interesting places I've ever seen in my life for people to live. It's all built, they're all squatters that live on top of a cemetery in Cebu, right in the heart, right in the center. It's actually very near a mall, Ayala Mall, which is one of the nicest, fanciest malls in Cebu. I don't know if it's fancy, yes, but it's a fancy mall there in Cebu. So it's right around the corner from there in this big public cemetery. It was the only land that they wouldn't be bothered if they squatted on. So they built all these like 2-3 story shacks and houses. They have like TVs and computers and stuff like that, which kind of shocked me. But they don't have anything resembling sanitation, and it's kind of a nasty place to live. But they, what Rhonda's doing with them is just, the main thing she does is just love them and get to know them and treat them like real human beings. And that's the most important thing that she does there. But also one thing that she's doing is Tetra bags. So she gets these Tetra packs. They're like juice packs, plastic kind of juice packs. And they get them and they clean them, they soak them in detergent or some kind of way to clean them up really good. And then the ladies sew them up into bags and wallets and umbrellas and all kinds of unique different styles. And they get orders for like 2,000 shoe boxes made out of Tetra packs. And the ladies in this squatter village, squatter community, they, sew them up together. And I got to meet the lady that started it all. Basically, the foundation of the idea was one of the ladies in the community
made one and showed it to Rhonda, and Rhonda loved it.
6 years ago, this lady made a bag and gave it to me as a gift, and I took it to Canada and they loved it. They thought it was a great thing, something similar to this. And so when I came back to live here again in Cebu, I asked her to make more and more and more, and she just kept making, and a dream come true to support the families of some of our kids that we're supporting.
And now is creating into a real development project for this community there. So that was what I did in Cebu, and then I went back up to Manila, and I got to visit another squatter community called Matang Tubig. It is run, the volunteer kind of group there is run by a group of sisters, Catholic sisters, and they've been going there for years and years and years, maybe 20 years, and they've really developed a relationship. The running theme here is spending time and developing relationships with the people there, and really just becoming a consistent part of their life. And the ladies there, they do tutorials, they tutor them, they've tested out development projects. Some of them have worked, some of them haven't worked so well. They're still, it's a trial and error kind of process. They go in the mornings and work with the mothers. They bring in some healthy foods, because the kids just eat kind of street foods, which are mostly fried and not really good for them. It's not very nutritious. So they bring in more nutritious food and work together with the mothers to cook it early in the morning and serve it to the kids. And they're just building up this community in Matang Tubig in Manila. Now, the last thing I did was in my last day, second to last day in Manila, I went to a forum called the Why Not Forum. It was quite interesting. The theme was what now? Recently, the Philippines has gotten a new president, and with this new president, a lot of corruption is going down. There's a lot more new, fresh opportunity. So all of the movers and the shakers, I guess, of creating new opportunities in the Philippines got together, and they just sat around and talked about, what now? Now that we have a new president and we have opportunity, we have chance to get around the corruption, what are we going to do about that? For the business sector, for the social enterprise sector, for the advocacy sector, for music and advocacy. There were all kinds of different speakers, and it was really interesting, as a foreigner who's not really related, not really connected, but I can come in and see what right now, what is coming up, what is the up and coming ideas and movements for Filipinos. So that was the Caught Doing Good experiences in the Philippines. I'm in Malaysia now. I have talked to one girl who does volunteer work, medical work in the countryside, but she does it very part-time, only maybe once or twice a month, and it's not while I'm here, so I haven't been able to observe anything or do anything here. I'm trying to get my videos from the Philippines put together. I'm trying to develop systems. I'm trying to create a more formalized way of doing this. I want to do it a lot more interviews with the people. Right now I'm just talking to you about them, but I want to show you, I want to interview people, but I really need to formalize how I'm going to interview people, what questions to ask, what consistent things to do. So that's what I'm working on with Caught Doing Good. It is going well. It could be going better. I could be more professional about it at this point. But I'm getting there, and I'm working on it, and I'm trying to be more professional. But at the same time, look where I am. Sometimes you're just chilling out on the beach, and it's hard to just motivate yourself to get up and be professional about anything. And I'm not getting paid for this or anything, so it's not, there's not that motivation. But that's not what motivates me anyway. So I'm gonna get it together, and I'm gonna get more and more and cooler and better stuff for you guys. So please continue following along, tell your friends, subscribe, let me know. I'm going through Malaysia right now. I'm going to be going through Indonesia after that, back up through Singapore, Malaysia, and up into Thailand. That's my pathway right now. So expect some videos from Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand, all over the place. It's coming at you. And how about you? Are you going to be caught doing good? I'm going to come looking for you. See you later, guys.
dog.